publications. And the students are also, though we come from a semi, urban area, located in Gumadipundi Taluk, Chennai. We are with a very big ambience. The college is really too good. The ambience, what you can see in the browser screen is just 1/4 of it. It's a huge campus. We have engineering college, we have polytechnic college, we have arts and science college, we have CBSE school, matriculation school, and the entire space and the good infrastructure, and classrooms are well equipped, labs, laboratories, and that is library, playgrounds. We really host many outside programs also in our campus, so we have a huge campus. And our administration management side are very, very supportive. They are encouraging, and that is what we are today. And I would like to just introduce or recollect your memories of the past few days FTP program topics for you, my dear
Thank
participants.
you.
I request the participants to remain in the online, and remember, your attendance is monitored, and tomorrow you'll be having a small test you'll be having. And as you have been filling the feedback form after every session, good, wonderful. And today I have shared the entire feedback form till yesterday's session. So I would request you to go in the WhatsApp group, participants WhatsApp group, and you can fill in the feedback form if you have not filled. And the test will be conducted tomorrow. And the PowerPoint, as I said yesterday, will be shared to you in our WhatsApp group, so that you can just view the participants' delivery of lectures, which you are really want any clarity in the questions. And we are so happy. Once again, remind you of the previous day's FTP program. That is day 1 on 25th of August. We had a international, resource person from Thailand, Dr. Mohana Sundaram sir, S. Mohana Sundaram sir, and he was, he is from Thailand, Asian Institute of Technology, Thailand, and his designation is assistant professor in water engineering and management. And I hope participants, you remember the topic delivered was Foundations of Professional Ethics in Academia. And I think everybody was very, very happy from the output which was delivered by Dr. S. Mohana Sundaram from Thailand. Then on the same day, we had session 2, which was delivered by Dr. Swarna Muthu Raj of LN Government College, affiliated to Madras University, and sir is head of the Department of English. And sir's session was really very, very overwhelming, and this topic was ethical teaching practices for inclusive classroom. And that was the day 1 sessions, and after which we did the feedback formalities. And then day 2 we started with another session 3, which was carried by Dr. Venkatesan, Head Department of Commerce, SRM University, Vadapalani. The topic was research integrity and plagiarism prevention. And again, sir carried the next session with using plagiarism AI tools responsibly. So it was really a wonderful session for a beneficiary, for the beneficiaries really, were too good in listening to how plagiarism to be handled when doing our research. And sir gave the nuances inside it. And it was a very good session, sir. Thank you very much for day 2, Dr. D. Venkatesan, sir. And day 3, that was on Wednesday, 27th of August, Dr. Swarnamuthu, Head Department of English, handled on ethical governance in higher education institutions, and followed by Dr. Vijay Vishnu Kumar from SRM University, Vadapalani. So handled the case studies resolving faculty-student ethical dilemmas. Again, undoubtedly, it was a very good session carried by both the resource persons. We were so happy and honored by them. And on day 4, that is Thursday, yesterday, Dr. T. Mohana Sundaram, Associate Professor, Department of Management Studies from MS Ramaya Institute of Technology, Bangalore, so delivered on data ethics in academic research. And of course, and it was again, it's another feather on the cap of our FTP program, and followed by Dr. C. Kamalakannan, Professor of Tamil Department from Wales University, he delivered on drafting institutional ethics and policies. So this is what we had for the past 4 days, and now we are in day 5, session 8 and 9 we are going to have, and the resource persons are waiting in the waiting room, and it's 5 more minutes to start a program. I request the participants to kindly remain inside. And participants, kindly go through the group, WhatsApp group of Atal FTP participants WhatsApp group, and kindly follow the instructions. We have sent the feedback forms till yesterday's session, and also we'll be sending you the PowerPoint presentations handled by the resource person for past 4 days, followed by today, and even tomorrow's presentation. You might be getting it at the earliest. Okay, and so that will be helpful for you to attend the test tomorrow. Anything would you like to share, my dear participants? Would you like to talk with me? Please converse till we start the program. I'll be happy if you talk with me, please. Yes, my dear participants, anybody would like to converse? How was it? How was the experience for past 4 days? It looks like a classroom. Come on, please, somebody speak. Am I audible, system admin, sir? Is my audibility clear? Yeah,
Yes,
thank
ma'am.
you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
Yes, ma'am. Good evening,
participants.
ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Welcome, Joshia, sir. We'll be starting at 6:10 sharply. Thank you, Harim sir. Thank you, Harima sir. Thank you very much. I think you have been one of the vibrant participants in the past few days. You have been posting a lot of questions, and you were really very, very participative. Very happy. I will never forget your name, sir. Everyone, of course. Everyone. All are same for us. Thank you so much. Jagan Zion. I hope I'm pronouncing it properly. Anybody would like to speak, please? Feedback written alone is not an oral feedback also would be fine. Yeah, the mic is on. You can speak. Jagan Zion. Joshua Harris sir is coming. He'll be introducing the guest today.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, kindly wait, sir. Kindly wait.
Yes, ma'am. I am available.
Thank you, sir. 3 more minutes to start. Participants, I would like to recollect your memory with the sayings in the beginning of the session that you should have at least minimum 80% of attendance and 70% of marks to get your certificates. And not all has been able to participate in the Atal registration process. And so you're from your college institution, you really carry a fame to your college by participating in this AICT sponsored Atal FTP hosted by TGS College of Arts and Science, Chennai. So happy to have you on here again and again. I'm appreciating your presence. Thank you so much.
Madam, tomorrow timing will be same or different?
No, so it is different, sir. I will tell you now. Tomorrow time it starts at, I'll be, as usual, I'll be posting the details to your WhatsApp group. So kindly keep in touch. It is from 2 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. Tomorrow we'll have session 11. And then from 3:30 to 5 p.m. we'll be having session 12. And from 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. we'll be having session 13. And then from 6:30 to 7:30 is our session. That is, we'll have online test and feedback process 1 hour. 1 hour, it is mandatory from that side. They have instructed us to conduct 1 hour. And 7:30 to 8 p.m. is a validatory session. So 8 p.m. by 7:45 to 8, we will complete our 6 days Atal FTP program. I hope I'm clear. 2 o'clock it starts and ends at 8 p.m. I'll be sending the details, program schedule in our WhatsApp group.
Madam, timing?
Sir, it is from 2 p.m. 2 p.m. tomorrow afternoon, 2 to 3:30 is session 11 tomorrow. Yes, can you hear me? Vikrant
Yes, sir.
Manjur?
Yes, madam.
Yeah, 2 p.m. to 3:30
Yes,
p.m. is session 11. Then 3:30 to 5 p.m. is session 12. Then 5 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. is session 13. 6:30 to 7:30 is your test and feedback process for 1 hour. And then 7:30 to 8 p.m. By 7:45 to 8 p.m. I think we'll come to the closure of the FDP program itself, 6 days. Am I clear, my dear participants?
yes, madam.
Yeah. So we start at 2 o'clock. We'll end at 8 o'clock, around 8 o'clock. Wonderful having you all. Yeah, it is 6:10. Principal, sir, can I start?
Yeah, thank you, madam, for your
Yes, sir.
wonderful MC. Madam, it is my bonded duty to thank our resource person. So thank you, Dr. Karthik,
Yes.
sir, for accepting our invitation to be as a resource person for this wonderful session. So on behalf of our management and all the staff and students and the participants, my bonded, I have to thank to our today's resource person, Dr. Karthik, sir. Thank you very much for accepting our invitation. So over to Dr. Bhunesh.
Thank you,
Yes,
Principal, sir. Was our principal of TGS College of Arts and Science, Dr. V. Lakshmipati, sir, who's the first principal of TGS College, but he's not new to the principal seat. He has been handling the principal seat for more than 2 decades. So, welcome, Principal, sir, to the online FTP. And I move on to the first session of today's day 6, session 11. I now invite Professor Joshia, sir, Dr. Joshia, sir, who is the head of the Department of BCom Computer Applications of TGS College of Arts and Science. May I invite Joshua, sir, to introduce the guest of session 11. Thank you, Joshua, sir. It's yours.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good
Good
evening.
evening, Principal, sir. It's my great privilege and honor to introduce Dr. M. Karthik, Associate Professor and Program Head, PGDM International Business, Institute of Public Enterprise, Hyderabad. Dr. Karthik has over 23 years of experience in teaching, research, and consultancy. He holds PhD in Management and Master in International Business from Bardier University. His research focuses on trade wars, globalization, sustainable production, and BOP markets. He has led projects sponsored by ICSSR, NHRC, and ICAR, IIMR, and published in reputed journals including Society and Natural Resources and Transportation Planning and Technology. As program head since 2014, he has successfully organized international industrial visits in Malaysia, Europe, Dubai, enhancing global exposure for the students. Now is the time for Dr. M. Karthik. Is over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Joshua, sir. Good evening, respected Principal Professor Lakshmipati.
Very good evening. Very good evening.
Yes, sir. Professor Bhuvaneshwari, Professor Bhanupriya. I thank the management of TGS College of Arts and Science for inviting me for today's session. I consider this as a proud moment to speak to the participants on a wonderful topic. So, Madam, shall I share the PPT?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Perfect, sir. It is visible. Thank you.
Okay. So moving on to the topic, dear participants, good evening to all of you. So today's topic is mental health and ethical responsibilities of educators. What a topic, to have in the current scenario, especially where there are so many challenges with regard to mental health issues and There are so many challenges, especially for the academic community, to face the students community when they have so many challenges in front of them. And in my experience, and also in your experience, you also must have seen many cases, especially in the last decade or so, pertaining to mental health issues. And what is the role of an educator? What is the role of an academician in enhancing or in improving the mental health status of the students community, and the kind of service that we do to the students community and also to the society much depends on how we ensure our own mental health, and also how we ensure the mental health of the students community. So the objectives of today's session is going to revolve around these, to understand the importance of mental health. This is something which is very important, because even today people, I have seen, people talk at length about health, and when they refer to health, it is only restricted to physical health, and mental health does not even figure in the picture. So the first objective is to make you realize the importance of maintaining very good mental health. And mental health is also a part of good health. It's not only the physical health, but also mental health and physical health together can contribute good health. So that is the first objective. And the second objective is to understand the ethical responsibilities of all of us. When I say all of us, it includes me, you, and all of us as academicians. What is the ethical responsibility that we have? What is the role as teachers we have in ensuring and in promoting mental well-being among students, which is the topmost priority? And the third objective is to understand the importance of maintaining a good health. As I already mentioned, we have to realize the fact that we have to maintain good health. And when I say good health, it includes physical health, also mental health for our for us, for the self. For the self, I refer to the teaching community. In case if we have perfect mental health, we can ensure good mental well-being among the students community. So the first thing is to ensure that we are all peaceful, we have very good mental health, so that we can contribute better, and we can ensure good mental health among students community. So let us get into the topic, mental health. Mental health, as most of you must be aware of what the definition means. Mental health refers to our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. So this is a comprehensive term. It does not refer to any isolated area. Mental health is a comprehensive thing, because it revolves around emotional well-being. People talk about emotional intelligence these days, and in case if you are aware of the fact that most of the recruiters who come for campus recruitment, they test the students on emotional balance, emotional intelligence, emotional well-being before going into any technical round. That is the level of importance that emotional well-being has today. Psychological well-being and social well-being. So mental health comprises of these three activities: one, emotional; two, psychological; and three, social well-being. And mental health is a vital aspect of overall health. Because as all of us are aware, if the mind is calm, if the mind is composed, if the mind is peaceful, then all of us understand we have better physical health. If the mind is not well, in case if we have stress, if we have emotional turbulence, if we have emotionally, in case if we are not settled, then it contributes to various other health issues, such as it could be a blood pressure issue, it could be a cardiac issue, it could be any physical health issue. So mental health is a vital aspect of overall health, influencing our thoughts, feelings, and actions. So in case if our mental health is absolutely all right, and it depends on what we think, what we feel, and what we think and what we feel will result in how we act, how we behave. So that is the next point, which you see in the PPT. It encompasses how we think. It encompasses how we think, how we feel, and how we behave. So all these three things are interrelated, and I'm sure you are able to understand the connection between how we think, how we feel, and how we behave. It depends on the behavior is the last aspect of it, How we behave primarily depends on what we think, how our thinking is, shaped, and how we what we feel is a result of, how we behave. So in case if you would like to understand, what goes behind, what is the science behind how we think, how we act, how we behave, there is a beautiful concept in psychology called perception. When I say perception, all of us understand the meaning of perception. Perception is, the kind of idea or opinion that we have about an object or anything that we see. Like, say for example, the moment we see somebody entering our room, we make a perception in a fraction of a second about the person who walks into our room. It hardly takes, our mind is so very powerful, so very strong, and we have so many programs already inbuilt in the system that the moment we see an object, we make perception. And whether, I'm not saying, the perception that we make is right or wrong, but then it is an automatic process which happens the moment we see an object, the moment we see a human being, the moment we see anything, automatically the conscious and the subconscious mind start making perception. And in case if we have to understand perception a little more in detail, because this has a lot of connection to the mental health and the mental well-being. There are three things, when we discuss perception, how one perceive, how a human being perceives is something. It is very interesting for us to investigate. How do we perceive? What makes us perceive the way we perceive, is something which is really interesting. So let me explain a bit on perception making and perception formation, and how and what kind of connection it has to mental health. Like, say for example, when we talk of perception, there are three things. One is, three things which contribute in we forming a perception. One is selective attention, right? Now when I say selective attention, it is not that all that we see we pay attention to. Like, say for example, the moment you open newspaper in the morning, we may read from page 1 to page last, and we must have read so many news items in the course of the morning newspaper reading. Now what happens is that we do not retain all that we read, or we must have read something, but we might not have retained what we read from the newspaper. So the first thing is selective attention, and the second thing is selective retention. Now what is selective retention? We do not retain all that we read. In the mind we retain only few things, and that also happens selectively. And the third thing is selective distortion. Means what? We human beings, we distort the information, what we see, what is presented in front of us, we distort it, take that information, and then we make judgments. So this is how perception is formed. In case if you have not understood very clearly, let me give you an example. In case if you have watched cricket, uh, people have perception about cricketers. In today's world, if you take Rohit Sharma, you ask anyone, Rohit Sharma is rated as one of the topmost batsmen in the world of cricket. Though he has retired, from many formats of the game, but even then, Virat Kohli or Rohit Sharma, they stay, number 1 to number 5. And the perception of people about, these cricketers that I mentioned is very, very high. So what happens, just imagine the situation, Virat Kohli is batting, and uh, a fast bowler is bowling to Virat Kohli. Now Virat Kohli faces this bowler, and the ball comes at a very quick speed. It takes the edge of the bat, and it goes to the boundary through the slips. Now the person sitting in the commentary box, he knows that he's seeing Virat Kohli, right? And he's seeing Virat Kohli is batting. So what I'm trying to tell you is, he's having all the background knowledge of what Virat Kohli is capable of, and he is making a judgment. And then he perceives, he comments saying that, what a fantastic shot. The ball has, Virat Kohli has guided the ball between, the slips, and, the batsman, very nicely played, the shot to the boundary. So this is scenario number 1. Scenario number 2, you take the case of Bumrah. who is a bowler, and we all know that he can't bat. Now Bumrah is batting, the same bowler is bowling, and this guy, Bumrah, actually plays this shot very well. In the first case, Virat Kohli has not played at all. He was not having any idea what the ball has done. It has taken the edge and it went to the boundary, but the commentator perceived it to be a very skilled shot because he has seen Virat Kohli, playing it. In the second scenario, it is Bumrah. Bumrah has used all the skills in the world to guide the ball between the slips to the boundary, but the commentator perceives it to be a matter of luck, and the commentator comments, he is very lucky to survive. So what I'm trying to tell you is selective attention. One, we do not pay attention to all that we see. Selective retention, we retain only selective things. These two are self-explanatory. What I'm explaining is only selective distortion, the case of Virat Kohli and Bumrah. What I'm trying to drive home to you is, look at how the commentators perceived when Bumrah actually played the shot very nicely. The commentators and all of us also as audience, we have perceived that Bumrah is lucky, the ball has taken the edge and he survived. But the fact of the matter is, Bumrah actually played a very good shot, and Virat Kohli did not play, and the bat, took the edge, ball took the edge, and then, it went to the boundary. So this is what is called a selective distortion. So we distort information, we distort things that we see, and then we make judgments. So what I'm trying to tell you is, in case if you understand how perception is formed, how the science behind formation of perception, we all will be better off in making judgments. We all will be able to understand, when we face students, when with a mental issue, with an issue which pertains to mental health, then we will be in a better position to guide a student or to guide someone who comes in front of us for any kind of counseling, for any kind of session. So what I'm trying to tell you is, when somebody has an opinion, when someone has some kind of judgment, and then when someone has a problem with regard to mental health, then we have to understand how this individual is perceiving things. It could be, with regard to anything. It could be with regard to relationship. It could be with regard to any other aspect of life. In case if we understand the science behind, perception and perception formation, then automatically we understand, this is how human beings have to be dealt with. This is the reason why someone behaves the way, they behave. So we have to understand the most important thing here is we understanding, the relationship between perception, mental health, and the connection, the interlink between this. And what mental health issues that we have today, some of the most common issues that all of us face today as a nation, I would say, is depression. We see so many people, not only the students community, but also sections across society. We see many people, they say that I am in depression. We have seen celebrities talking about it. We have seen, sportsmen talking about it. We have seen film stars talking about it. And when they speak, it gets the attention. But then what happens to an ordinary man, who faces depression? What is the solution that he has is $1 million question. So some of the common issues that most of us see today with regard to mental health is, the first and the foremost is the depression. Depression could be because of a personal loss. It could be because of some financial loss, loss of someone in the family. It could be because of many reasons. But then the important factor that we need to understand is we have to come over it. And in the subsequent slides, I'll be talking about how do we come out of it. The second is anxiety. Anxiety has become another major problem. These days people get anxiety for every small problem, and for every small occasion there is anxiety. We can understand in case if tomorrow is your wedding, if there is anxiety, we can understand. In case if tomorrow is an interview and it happens to be the first interview, then we can understand the anxiety. But then what I have seen among students community is, for small things, people are getting this issue of anxiety is there, and we have to tell them, we have to educate them as educators, as academicians, that we have to tell them, it is not necessary that you get anxious for things which does not deserve to be anxious, right? And then we have behavioral disorders. This is also on the rise actually, and I'm sure most of you must have also observed. And in case if you wonder why all this is happening, why depression, especially if we are referring to the students community, why depression, what are the contributing factors for depression, what are the contributing factors for anxiety, what are the contributing factors for behavioral disorder, especially among adolescents and especially among college students. It is the academic pressure. We cannot ignore this, the kind of academic pressure that the children have today, because they have to face the competition, in the era of globalization, with the advent of LPG, liberalization, privatization, and globalization. The competition has picked up, and competition is not only with the region anymore. Today students have to compete with students of other states, other cities. Even a tier 2 city student has to face the competition from a tier 1 city, right? So that is how the whole world has changed, and academic pressure is something which is unbelievable. And some kids take it, some kids ignore it, some kids manage it. So, but definitely, academic pressure is definitely there. Social challenges, because all of us know the kind of challenge that the society poses to the students community is also something which which causes anxiety, which causes depression and behavioral disorder. Trauma, as I told you, it could be because of some big loss which they have suffered. Sometimes what we ignore in India is the family problem. Mental health issue, one of the biggest contributing problem, because one of the biggest contributing factor is the family issue. But unfortunately, we do not have any guidance, we do not have any counseling, proper counseling when it comes to family issues. We do not have, especially, sometimes, people take the guidance of relatives and friends, but beyond that, there is no professional help which is available, unless the matter is so grave that it goes to a psychiatrist. Otherwise, there is absolutely no counseling which happens, especially for family problems. And why mental health, the importance and implications. As I already told you, there is a big strong connection between how we think, what we think, how we feel, and how we behave. So if you look at people in society, if you look at students in the campuses, if you look at the students community, how they behave, uh, is a problem. And it has a direct relationship with the mental health. And why this is very important, we need to understand, as educators, we need to understand the importance of it, because managing stress and emotion is something which we have to manage, build strong relationships, because relationship is an issue. I've seen so many people talk about how these Gen Z would manage or adjust themselves in the work environment, how this Gen Z, or even the millennials, sometimes how would they be in a relationship, in a family relationship, in a husband and wife relationship, in a friendship, how would they be? And in case if they have to be successful, it is not only the professional success, but also relationships, how they maintain friendship, how they maintain relationships with the neighbor, with the society. All that is very important. So to build strong relationship, we need to understand this, to make informed decisions, right? We need to give importance to mental health. Informed decision making is a skill, decision making is an art. And in fact, I recently read somewhere of the definition of who is a genius. And the definition was very interesting. So the definition which I read was, a genius is a person who reacts normally in an abnormal situation. When he is pushed to the corner, a person, when he reacts calm and composed, just like how we see MS Dhoni, he's calm and composed, never get distracted or never get very aggressive, and then take decisions in a calm and composed manner, and that is genius. That's what I read. Cope with challenges, facing challenges and coping with challenges, very very important. And also something which as an academician, And I also request all my fellow academicians to make a note of point number 5, which is very important: enjoy life and find fulfillment. This is something which is very important for good, mental health and mental well-being. So if you look at, little more deeply, what are the issues that we have in India? As I already told you, one of the contributing factors for mental health related issue is the education system itself, because of sheer population. The size of population is so very high, it puts enormous pressure on students, especially from the academic front, and it affects the well-being, and it increases the stress levels. And many surveys have been done wherein they found out that the Indian students, the level of stress that Indian students face cannot be compared to the kind of stress levels, low stress levels, which are there in the Western world and in other parts of the world. So this is something which we have to take note of, and also realize that we need to do something about it. It's not that we look at it and ignore it and go. The reason why I'm telling you this is we have to make a note of it and then do something about it, so that the mental health, mental well-being of our students community is intact. The cultural orientation is also something which has been a problem. In fact, if you look at the north versus south, students from north and students from south, there is a clear distinction between students from south and students from north. I have read in one of the newspapers that students in south are put to extreme pressures from the parents, and students in the north, they are little better off when it comes to handling stress. And the reason I was actually wondering what could have made this stark difference between north versus south, then I thought it could be because of the choice of education. Because if you look at the society, if you look at the culture of south and culture of north, you will find most of the students from south, the parents put enormous pressure on them to pursue either engineering education or medical education. And when it comes to arts and science, they do not have so much of they do not attach so much of value. But on the other hand, if you look at the northern states of India, they do not have so much of craze, the kind of craze that the South Indian states have for art, for engineering and medical education. They are much more different in choosing the kind of education that they want. If you see, if you look at it, they are more opting for arts and other groups of education. So what I'm trying to tell you is choice of education. Sometimes, when you push a student into a stream in which he or she is not interested, automatically it builds up stress. It creates mental health issues, and we have to leave it to their own choice. It is no more, the fact that, only engineering and medical education is top priority, and somebody choosing, group 3 or group 4 is looked down upon. That should not be the case. And as educators, we have to educate the society. It is not only it is not enough that we only talk to students. As educators, we have to talk to people at large, and convey to our own family and friends that everything has value and everything has a lot of scope in today's world. Peer pressure is another reason why there are so many issues. Peer pressure, I mean, for students, because we have grown up, and we do not empathize with a student what kind of pressure that a student faces. And invariably we find students have a lot of comparison among their own peer group. And in case if someone is scoring well, there is internal competition in the classroom, and the boy or the girl who is scoring very well, excellently, there is pressure on the other students to keep up, and to keep up, even to maintain a good friendship with that boy or a girl. There is enormous amount of pressure, academic pressure, so that this boy or this girl also is respected among the peer community. And its impact on mental health is something which is unbelievable. We have to talk to people to understand what kind of pressure they face. And the next is parents peer pressure. Parents peer pressure in the sense, and its impact on children. and its impact on students. We as parents, we have our own community, we have our own, colleagues, we have our own friends, we have our own society. Now, this is a very common thing which you do not find in, Western countries. They do not ask, what your child does, how much, did your child score in the last exam, how is he doing in exams. We are culturally very different. I'm not saying this is wrong, but then what we also have to understand is, indirectly it puts, tremendous pressure on the children, because, parents in the house, when they talk, automatically it leads to comparison. Automatically, even though parents are not comparing, parents have improved a lot compared to, the previous generation. No comparison. Children are given, absolute choice of what they want to pursue. But all said and done, in the home, when they speak, when they discuss about, their own friends, children, what they study, how they perform in examination, all this puts an invisible pressure on kids. And as I mentioned, this is something, which we need to handle it with care. And society also has a very important role, because society is something which which is primarily, responsible for their own citizens, mental well-being. So these are some of the concerns, which we need to understand. And when we need to understand where, how do we improve, then we need to look at certain other countries which are doing very well. India is also one of the wonderful countries, but then unfortunately, when it comes to mental well-being, we are not there in the top 10 or top 20. So what is that others are doing? What is that some of the most successful nations are doing, is something, which is worth noticing. So that is the reason why, I'm presenting before you, the Finnish model. All of us know Finland. Finland is one of the most safest countries to visit. Finland is one of the most wonderful country, in Europe. And if you look at, what they do as a nation for students, and let me tell you, it's a stress-free nation. It is, they believe in the concept of creating zero stress. Creating zero stress, I mean, for all the citizens, as I told you, in fact, if we have good mental health, we can ensure mental well-being of students. Now, what happens in case if our own mental health is at stake, is a question mark, then automatically we will not be in a position to ensure, mental well-being of our own students. So what uh, you can see in the slide is, Switzerland, stress-free nation. Why do I say stress-free nation? I have some, friends, my ex-colleagues who are working in Finland, and they tell me that the employer, you know, in a Finnish organization, the utmost priority for them is to ensure that their employees are stress-free. And they design systems, organizational culture in such a manner that no one is in conflict with another colleague. Would you believe it? Such a system driven nation, organizational culture is built on a platform wherein one colleague will not have any conflict with the other colleague. There is no question of having any conflict. So this is something, which I have had a first-hand, information of how, Finland works. And another interesting thing, which I came to know about Finland is that, when you apply for leave, usually we, when employees apply for leave, they say, I'm not well, even though, the actual reason could be something. Just imagine, we having a fight with our spouse, and then we are not in the proper frame of mind to go and work in the office. Then what we say, we take a casual leave or a personal leave, and the employer would ask 100 questions before granting leave. But then in Finland, I was told by a Finnish, that once you tell that I'm not in proper frame of mind, you write an email to your boss, I'm not in proper frame of mind, they will not ask you any questions. The leave is granted, you sort out and then come to office. For example, you have a fight with your spouse, you're not in proper frame of mind, you tell your boss, leave is automatically granted is what, they told me that, that is the level of importance that they give to ensure that everyone is stress free, and it's a wonderful thing. And if we look at, Finland's education, it's completely opposite of what we have in India. We rush our children, at the age of 3 onwards, to put them in school. But in Finland, it is simply not possible. They can't, admit children before 6 or 7. and till 6 or 7, children are given absolute freedom and they cannot be put in school. And what it has done, Finland, ensures equal access to quality education for all students. Of course, it's a very small country with a very small population. But one thing which we need to understand is, regardless of the socio-economic background that students have, they all have similar education. I do not know when that day will come for us, but let us pray and hope, we also reach there. Student-centered learning, and this is where, where we can contribute. The system focuses on individual needs, encouraging creativity, critical thinking, and problem solving. Now, if you look at any of these, we are very poor in this. We do not have, because of the sheer size of the class strength, classroom, we have to deal with 60 students minimum, or 40 students minimum, and the student faculty ratio, even if it is at 1:20, still not enough. So the academic world has to ensure that they bring in more teachers, and they have to ensure that the student faculty ratio is kept at the right levels, so that their needs are met. And the encouraging part of students creative element is something which is missing among teachers also. I can tell you, because in the last 2 decades of my experience, I've seen teachers, when a student is creative, we also question, how is it going to help you be successful. Creativity is not encouraged, critical thinking is not encouraged. As when we teach, as a B school professor, we give a lot of importance. When we teach our students, we teach through case method, right? And if you look at management education in other countries, students finish their undergraduation, they work in some company, and then they come and join an MBA program, so that they can relate theory with practice. But here what happens is, we immediately join a management program, and there is absolutely, there is no critical thinking, there is no problem solving aspect of it. But all this is excellent, in a country which has proved to be very successful. No standardized testing. This is also very interesting. It does not put the kind of pressure that our children have to face, especially when they have to write competitive exams for an engineering seat in some of the premier institutions such as NITs, IITs, etc. The kind of stress that our students undergo is unbelievable. Look at how students, what kind of stress students go through when they have to prepare for NEET. The level of stress that we are giving to a 14-year-old or a 15-year-old is not justified. Especially, the kind of patents, if you look at, how they are successful, we also file patents. We are one of the, top 5 countries or top 10 countries when it comes to filing patents. But when real invention happens, it comes from, countries such as Finland, Sweden, etc. So it is worth understanding, the Finnish model. As educators, we need to learn what they do, and there is no harm in, practicing what Finland is doing in our own limited manner. In case if we are able to do it, then that would be a great thing. And what are the benefits? High literacy rate, Finland 99%. Strong performance. Finnish students consistently rank among top performers in international assessments. Well-rounded graduates. When I say well-rounded graduates, the system is ensuring that, and they have very good mental well-being. So if you look at this, top 10 countries for mental health, you look at Denmark, right? Denmark is a wonderful country. I had the opportunity of visiting Denmark, and I understood one thing. There is zero stress, of course, much similar to what we see in Finland. Absolutely zero stress. But one thing which I found it interesting is what they teach to their own kids, right at a very young age. Look at their score. When it comes to mental health score, they have a very high score of 92. And you can also see Hoge model. What is this Hoge model? Which they ensure that all the kids are taught this. Now, what is this? It might sound very simple, but they teach their children in being happy, being joyful. Simple pleasures of life, is very important, is something, which they realize. Contentment is another thing. There is no better country than India when it comes to contentment. We have great philosophers who have propagated the aspect of contentment. But then today, if we look at, we have become very highly materialistic. We are chasing dreams. Nothing wrong in that, but then at what cost is a question which we need to ask ourselves. So contentment, connection with others, having a good relationship. So this is something which Denmark teaches children, right? And then we have, in number two position, Switzerland, a wonderful country, and known for its tourism, known for its scenic beauty. But then we also have to understand that they are a very happy country. It's one of the happiest countries in the world. And mental health very, very good. Look at the third country, that is Iceland. You know, how would we feel in case if we are in Iceland, full of ice, freezing cold, temperature as cold as that? We would crib and cry, but then, they are very happy. Netherlands, another country, they have, some good techniques, innovative therapeutic techniques that has comprehensive healthcare system, and it has a score of 88 in mental health. And these are all in Europe, and they have something which is common, that is, they have very high ranking in mental health, and people are very happy. Norway is another small country. It's a very, very small country near Denmark, but then the status of mental health in Norway is also very, very high. Sweden, another great country when it comes to mental health. Canada, despite so many problems, inflation, etc., etc., I do not understand how people are very happy. In case if you need a medical appointment, I was told you have to wait for 3 months. India is one of the best countries for medical treatments, etc. But then, despite all these, they are very, very high. And Finland, as we discussed, they are right in top 10. New Zealand, very, very strong when it comes to mental health with a score of 83. Australia, has again, very good score. So this is with regard to, top 10 countries in mental health. And there is also something called as GDP, which all of you know, that is gross domestic product. And, we often, we are very proud that, our GDP is growing at a rate at which, many other countries are envious of. But at the same time, do we know that there is something called as gross happiness index? That is also something which is there. And just like GDP, there is a survey which is done to understand how happy people are. And this has a direct relationship to what? To mental health. So if you look at gross happiness index, Finland, again, you see here also, number one. And Finland is a country which is, the climate of Finland is so very bad that most of the days it is a gloomy, cloudy, atmosphere they have. They do not have sun. In fact, uh, a couple of years back, I traveled to Sweden, and we were in a conference room, and the conference room had a big beautiful glass, through which you can see outside. And various professors from various parts of the world, they came, they were presenting their papers, and there was no activity for some time, and then I found all of them started clapping. And I was wondering why people are clapping, why the people assembled in that room are clapping. I had no clue. I was wondering what happened. Did I miss out on something? Then I inquired with someone what happened. Then someone told me that the sun appeared for a brief moment, maybe for about 3 minutes or so. Sun just peeped out through the uh, clouds, and then there was sunlight which entered the room. I did not even notice it, because we live in a country which has tropical climatic condition. The sun is plentifully available, but for them, for Swedish people, looking at sun, sun making an appearance, that is a moment of celebration, and they celebrated. I have seen it. And then I was wondering, in a country which is so gloomy, people say if you do not see sun for about 3-4 days, 1 week, if it continuously rains and it is cloudy, we get into depression. But then people of Sweden, Finland, it's full of ice. Most part of the year it is snowing, and how are they so happy is something, which is still a mystery to me. Look at countries such as Israel. They have so many other issues, but then still they are also in top 10. Netherlands, Norway, Luxembourg, Switzerland, Australia, and look at India. In fact, I wanted to ask the audience the question, what is our rank? Do not look at it as 11, right? Now, when it comes to happiness, gross happiness index, our rank is 118 out of 146, right? In fact, in 2025, we jumped a few places. Otherwise, the last year was even more, worse. So just see where we are. 118 is a rank which it is a matter of concern, because the first and the foremost thing of the first and the foremost purpose of life is to be happy, but unfortunately it is not the case. So we have to understand how to be happy. We have to understand how to be joyful. It has got direct relationship with our mental well-being. And if we look at, we need to really investigate, what are the reasons for unhappiness, because, it doesn't matter which we need to introspect a bit, why we are at 118, why a country such as Australia or a country like Israel, could be, so better off, and why are we, unhappy is something, which we need to investigate. And if you look at reasons why we are unhappy, maybe it is because of negative thinking pattern. You do a small survey with students, how many of them really are positive? It's a very big question. It's $1 million question. How many of them are really positive? How many of us, as teachers, as academicians, as educators, how many of us have real positive thinking? Maybe you can ask yourself this question. How many of us are real positive thinkers? So negative thinking pattern, and we need to train our mind. In case if we have negative thinking, it is something which we need to work on, something which we need to practice. And because we can't blame someone for having a negative thinking pattern, because someone's thinking depends on one's own experience, past experiences, etc. So we can't blame them, but then also we need to understand that it can be changed, it can be trained, the mind can be trained, to think positively, and that is something which we need to learn. And another common reason which we find is low self-esteem. Look at some students, the way they walk. Uh, you know, you will be able to understand that the student does not have any confidence. You will be able to understand that there is low self-esteem. Self-esteem, these are things which we do not teach our students, right? How to have good esteem. It should not be too much. Also, at the same time, it should not result in low self-esteem also. What are the reasons? How many on how many occasions we talk to students, talk to young people, and understand what are the reasons. We as teachers will be able to understand, notice if someone has low self-esteem, but what are the reasons? As educators, as academicians, what are we doing about it? Do we spend time on such things? Is a matter of question. Lack of self-awareness. Some people, people say that they do not know. There is a saying, in English, sometimes we do not know what we are. So if we educate them, if we make them aware of their own talent, then automatically what happens, the student gets confident. Self-awareness is something which we need to educate at times. As educators, unrealistic expectations, this could be from our own side as teachers, as faculty members, sometimes from parents side, from the society side, unrealistic expectations. What is a realistic expectation? We have to do little homework. It is not always on the other side of the community, but we as society, we as teaching fraternity should understand what is realistic expectation. Because I keep talking to my students, I ask them, what is your dream package? And would you believe that no one tells me a package which is less than 1 lakh per month, that is 12 lakhs per annum. And I very clearly know that this boy or this girl will find it extremely difficult to secure a package as high as that. But then the expectation is already set in mind, and anything which he gets less than that, this boy or the girl is going to be highly unhappy. And highly unhappy with the salary, obviously he will underperform in the job, and underperformance will lead to, firing from, the position, and automatically it's a cycle. It's a cycle, and it will never end. And then, they blame the institution, they blame the society, they blame the education. But then what is very important is, having a realistic expectation. In fact, I tell my students, that in case if we have an income of 50,000 rupees, and I'm also telling you, in case most of you must be aware of it, in case if our income is 6 lakhs per annum, 50,000 per month, we straight away get into the top 10% of the country. Would you believe it? It's a statistic which is available. It could be much lesser than 10%, but we straight away get into top 10% of the country's population. I'm talking about 140 crores. We straight away get into the top 10. Just imagine, in case if the income is 1 lakh, we straight away get into top 5%. So what I'm trying to tell you is, we also have to teach, we have to make the students community realize that, how to set realistic expectations so that we are happy, right? Substance abuse, I'll come to it a little later. uh, Chronic inactivity is another problem with, not only with the students community. They are engrossed with mobile phones and other gadgets, etc. But then the problem with all of us as a nation, we have become the diabetic capital of the world. India is now the diabetic capital of the world. India has maximum number of heart attacks, cardiac issues. So what is contributing to all this? It could be, mental well-being. It could be because, it could be vice versa, because of lack of physical activity. They are not happy. Because they are not happy, they are not very active, and all this is contributing to, a lot of health issues. Chronic inactivity is primary reason for poor mental well-being. This is something which all of you would agree in your own experience. If we are inactive, if we stay inside, the four walls, definitely, it's a problem, and we would not be having a very healthy mind. Unhealthy relationships, as we discussed in the previous section also, it is a problem. It's a matter of concern, and people are now discussing how to handle Gen Z in the employment, in the organization, because the expectations are different. The expectation from the employer is very, very different. Relationship issues and family relationship issues with friends, all this is, this is something, which we need to work on. Lack of socialization. People are not interested in socializing, as it was the case once upon a time. India is a country where people love socializing, but unfortunately, with so many gadgets and so much of entertainment options which are available to all of us, this aspect has taken a big hit, and it has a direct relationship with, in mental well-being. And you also must be knowing, a lot of survey has been done to understand who are happy people. And happy people are those who have a very strong family bonding. Happy people are those who have very good friendships. They socialize, they meet friends, they meet family. These are things, unknowingly it, contributes to mental well-being. So we need to revive this. Another, prominent reason, though this point is, last but one, but then this is very, very important. Lack of passion, lack of values, is also, one of the reasons why people are unhappy, right? People are unhappy because they do not have any dream. You may talk to students. Sometimes you find, 50% of the class, they do not have any vision. They do not know how to, what they want in life. There is no purpose in life. So if you have a passion, if you have a purpose, and if you are working towards it, you will find them very happy. You will find them very energetic. You will find them motivated. So as educators, it's our duty to, ignite that passion. It is our duty to, teach values. And sometimes, the last point which you see, pleasing others. If you try to, make everyone happy, you end up, if you try to please all, you end up pleasing none. There is a very famous saying. So sometimes, people who try to please all, will end up unhappy. There is a book which most of you must be knowing. Don't say yes when you want to say no. Some people have this personality problem that they keep accepting, they keep saying yes because they do not want to say no to anyone. They want to please all. In the process, they become unhappy and they get into mental health issues. So what we need to know as educators, the first and the foremost thing is we have to be in good state of mind. What do I say when what do I mean when I say good state of mind? Our profession is also very demanding, and all of us agree to the fact that it is not the same profession which was there 2 decades back. Today we have a lot of pressure from the students, because in those days, a professor was the only source of information. A professor goes to class, whatever he teaches, that is the only substance for the students. But today, the moment you teach, the moment you say something, people can cross check it. You are not the only source. In fact, we are one of the boring sources for them for information. So we have to make teaching very interesting, and to do that we need to be in proper state of mind. We have to it's a very challenging job. We have a lot of pressures when it comes to research, when it comes to contributing more to the institution. We have to grow in the profession, and a lot of peer pressure, and we have to handle you know all this to be in a proper state of mind. But one thing we have to understand is, this profession is still one of the most respected professions, not only in India but around the world. If you do a survey, you can just Google and see, some of the top most respected professions in the world, we stand number 3, number 4, or sometimes number 1. And that is the level of respect that still the world gives us. So we have to take pride of the fact that we are in a profession like that, and we have to contribute more to the students community. Is something we need to understand and stay fit. uh, we have to be very active. We have to be physically fit to be mentally fit. And in the pressure, in the kind of I've seen my colleagues telling, today I had many classes, so I'm totally exhausted. So this is something which we keep hearing. But all said and done, there is no excuse. We need to stay fit. Vacation, why I've mentioned is because when I travel to different parts of the world, I also see tourists. And when I travel in India, for example, in the month of February, I was in Trivandrum, and I could we were doing a project, and I had the opportunity of meeting some Russians. I had the opportunity of meeting some teachers from Southeast Asian countries. And I asked them, how many days they are going to be in Trivandrum. And they told me that they are going to stay in Trivandrum for about a month, stay in India for about a month. I was actually wondering, and I asked, what is your profession? And they told me they are school teachers. And that is something which really caught my attention. I interviewed a lot of teachers that time, and I asked, how is it possible for you to stay for a month? Then they told me that 1 month, every year is, exclusively meant for vacation. I'm not sure, whether we can afford to do that even in India, but they have the habit of, going on a vacation. Foreign teachers, we have to pick some lessons from them, is something which I told myself. And we have to also teach ourselves some qualities, the art of forgiving, teach and move on. When sometimes, when things are not in our favor, we need to move on. And then, one more interesting and very important for all of us as educators is that the role of nutrition. In other countries, and in most of the developed world, they paying attention to this. And unfortunately, we have very little awareness when it comes to mental health. The role of nutrition in mental health. Have you ever thought of it? You can talk to any medical doctor, he or she would tell you that vitamin D3, that is, vitamin D deficiency, is one of the primary reason for depression. Anyone who is, who is who is under malnourished, or when it comes to vitamin D3, because we assume, because we are in India, we have sun plentifully available. But let me also tell you the fact that India is one country where it has maximum number of people with vitamin D3 deficiency, vitamin D deficiency. And it has got a direct relationship to mental well-being. It has got a direct relationship to hormones. It has got direct relationship to, mental health. And would you believe South India is even more worse, because, because of the skin tone, people who have a darker skin tone are much more prone to vitamin D3 deficiency. This is also something very interesting. So how many of us actually tell students, that please go and do a, blood check, please, do a check so that you understand. Why I'm saying this is because, it has got direct relationship. A lot of research papers are there which talk about, the relationship between, vitamin deficiency and mental health. Another common deficiency is, vitamin B12. you know Deficiency also has got a direct relationship to mental well-being. You may think, why, this topic here, but then this is very important. Now my appeal to all of you is, please tell your students, if you find somebody drowsy, if you find somebody very moody, right, please ask them to go and do a small blood checkup, especially with regard to vitamin D3 and vitamin B12. You will be able, in case if you are able to correct them, all that you need to do is, take, some pills, and then it automatically gets corrected. Especially, for students, it's a big deficiency. And I have got the statistic. I thought, if I tell all that, it will become a very boring topic, so I'm not giving you that statistic. India is one country where such, deficiencies run very, very high. And as educators, we need to educate students, educate, family and friends. Please do these things so that we are in good, proper mental, well-being. And as I mentioned, the role of educators, we need to organize health camps, conduct screening, of children, create awareness in classroom, teach basic skills. You know, these are things, which are very, very essential. Basic skills with regard to finance, basic skills with regard to savings, etc. Make them confident. Once you make them confident, automatically, you know, uh, it'll be a different ball game altogether. And ethical responsibilities of a teacher or educator is that, the role of a teacher, I strongly believe that it should not be confined to syllabus and subject alone, because the role of a teacher is to inspire people, is to educate and inspire, and also have a lifelong relationship. I believe in that, having a lifelong relationship with students. And whatever happens, we need to understand that we are nothing short of a celebrity when it comes to a profession. So many people know us, and so many people respect us, so many people take inspiration from us. And we have to use this position positively, and ensure that we do not restrict ourselves only to syllabus. And if we restrict only to syllabus, then I would say, that is not ethics. As a teacher, we have to understand, the concept of guru, and a guru has to guide not only in subject but in all walks of life. In every walk of life, for a student, we need to play a role. And that is actually, a responsibility that we have, relationship which goes beyond classroom, lifetime relationship. Teacher as a role model, we need to, this is something which we have to reiterate to, we have to tell ourselves that as a teacher, we have a huge responsibility. And I told, what, challenges that we have today. One of the biggest challenges that we have today is substance abuse, which is a challenge. And we can ignore this, but then, we can't really ignore this. It's a very challenging issue for the country. It's a very challenging issue for the educators. So this contributes. I do not know whether mental, health issue contributes to substance abuse, or substance abuse is contributing to that. But then we have to understand that the situation is alarming. And would you believe, Kerala recorded, so many cases, drug related cases in 2024, with a significant increase among children. Punjab is known, for many years, but then Kerala's rise in substance abuse, with an increase of 130% in drug related cases in the last 4 or 5 years. is a matter of concern. And uh, Tamil Nadu is little better, other states are little better, but then it's a problem for educators, and we have a definite role here. You find any student, any children, any boy or a girl, with off track habits, we have to pitch in and we have to bring them on track. We have to understand where they are going wrong, and in case if we find anything like substance usage and all, we have to pitch in and do something about it. Gadget and its impact on mental health, all of us know it is affecting all of us. In fact, I have seen many old people also, they are glued to their mobile phones. And this is a problem where we spend a lot of time, and it has a direct relationship on mental health. You keep on scrolling. You must have heard a lot of doctors talking about it. It's a very big issue. Impatience, Gen Z, how do we handle it? And if they do not get things on time, not on time, they want everything before time, they are upset and they are angry, and it results in poor manners, etc. So all this is, these are all challenges, which as educators we have to face. But you know as a teacher, we also have to understand, as I told you, we have to go beyond classroom, we have to go beyond subject and syllabus. We have to perform many duties, unlike other professionals who just performs. A chartered accountant has only one job, that is to do accounting. But then as a teacher, we have to be, the kind of roles that we have to play, could be much more versatile than what Kamala Hassan does in the industry. We have to play multiple roles. We as counselor, we often see students in depression, but we can't always go to a psychologist or a psychiatrist. In India still it is a taboo. If someone is referred to a psychologist or a psychiatrist, it is still considered a taboo. So what do? We have to take in charge. We have enough experience and enough material in us that we can actually counsel students much better. And if you look at the suicide scenario, we are also there in top 5, top 10 countries. Of course, we are not as bad as our neighbor, but then the amount of suicides that students are committing, because it could be in the adolescent age, students have pressure of coaching. You must have seen what happened in Kota in Rajasthan. So many issues we faced, and as a nation we have to take charge of certain things. As teachers, we have to take charge of certain things. Teacher as a psychologist, we may not be trained in psychology, but we have to take a role. We have to do the job of a counselor, talk very nicely, be a very pleasing personality. We have to ensure that we present a very pleasing personality to them, and guide them, take the confidence of students. Once we take the confidence of students, they'll come and talk to us, they'll open up, and then we can be a mentor, we can be a friend. Teacher's role is not only restricted to teaching. So as you can see, teacher has the job of a counselor, psychologist, mentor, friend, parent, whatnot. We have to be proud of the kind of versatility that that we have in us, and we have to develop in case if we do not have certain qualities. And we also have to understand, as educators, the ethical responsibility, the moral responsibility of all of us is to ensure mental well-being. And mental well-being is number one, and mental well-being is the primary thing which is responsible for the rest of all other things in life. So with this, we come to the end of the session. And thank you very much. And I once again thank the college management for giving me this wonderful opportunity to interact and talk to you on a topic which is as interesting as ethical responsibilities, mental well-being, and the role of educators in today's scenario. Thank you very much, all of you, for your patient listening. Thank you.
Yeah, session is getting over, sir. Hello, sir. Um, Professor Karthik, Associate Professor Dr. Karthik. Oh my God, it was just mind blowing. It's an extremely wonderful session, which we really, all of us are really experiencing. You really visualized what is happened, is going to happen, everything in amongst our, environment, wherever we are, in family, friends, relatives, the society. Excellent, sir. Excellent. Thank you very
Thank
much
you,
for your profound your way of explaining the presentation. I think it showed the passion you had towards and the concern you had, for the institution, for the students, for the parents as human beings. It shows how much you really, are, particular about this particular concept, which is called mental health, which every one of us, we know, but we are ignoring that, and we are moving forward and marching forward for our upliftment of day-to-day life. I think we are really ignoring, and only we come to, and it alarms health only we come to realize about our mental health. Thank you so much, sir. I think there are many questions in the chat box. I request the participants to kindly pose your questions in the chat box, please. Sir, can we have the chat box open for you and
Yeah,
spell the
madam.
question, sir?
Thank you so much, madam. Thank you for your nice word.
And thank you very much, sir. Yes, Mr. Dr. Karthik. There's one question, first one from me. I was asked so how do we understand the mental health of person who's silent or do not express in words or action? For example, a student in the class. However, as you said that we, the teachers, are counselors, parents, pleasing teachers, mentors, friends, facilitators, whatever role we take, there are some students, as you said that they are very, very quiet, and even the staff members are also like that. They are not expressive, and some students are also not expressive. So how are we going to deal with those them? Though in person we talk to them, as you said,
Yes, ma'am.
what is the
Actually,
solution?
even initially when I look at a student who does not approach me in my initial days of my career, I also used to ignore them. Students who come and talk to us, we feel happy as teachers and we pay attention to them. But as you rightly said, madam, there are some students who are very quiet, and they do not interact much, they do not talk much. But once we engage in a conversation with them, they open up. And recently, I can share one experience with you. A girl who was very, very quiet, and I always used to think, why this girl is very quiet, what could be the reason. And I can sense that she is in some kind of problem, but then she does not open up. And once I started talking to her, she started opening up, and the kind of thing that she told me was really shocking. But then uh, I was happy that she told us that she said, she feels like stabbing a father, her own
Oh
father.
my
uh,
God.
and uh, and she looks very, very calm, quiet.
Hmm.
From the face, you will not be able to read that she has so much of anger and
Hmm.
other issues inside. But then we asked, what is the reason? Why do you have so much anger on that too on your father?
Hmm.
Then she said, many reasons, and then we told, all said and done, he is your father. And then it took a lot of time. I took the help of a professional psychologist. I brought another colleague of mine in, and then we made that, we ensured that this girl is very confident and in opening up. And then she opened up many issues, and then somehow we managed to bring down her anger levels. I'm not saying we completely changed her, but then
Yeah,
her
yeah.
anger levels are so like that. One experience is that, madam, we have to keep our ego aside as teachers. We have to reach out, and
Very
once
true.
we keep the ego aside and then we start talking, we have to allocate time also, because in our own pressure, we are so busy and we are so occupied. But more than the subject, sometimes this is very important. It's very important how well we teach students, but it is also important how well we deal with them.
Absolutely. Very true. Very true. Yes. Thank you so much. And but I never expected this level of a student. There are, my God, God help
There
us.
are yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Sir, do you think that potassium and sodium problems also affects the mental health, and which has not been taken care? As you said, the blood test is very important. The deficiencies we have in our health is very important. We should
Yes, ma'am.
really conduct
Yes,
camps,
madam.
medical camps.
Yeah. In fact, it's an experience. When I see my own daughter, sometimes she is moody, and when I did blood test, the doctors told me the reason why she is moody is because she has such poor vitamin D levels. Shockingly, Indians have very poor levels of vitamin D reading. And if we do a random check on a sample, random sampling, if we do, we will understand that 80% of the class, I tell my students, please go and do a vitamin D check, vitamin B12 check. And I have ensured, that at least, 20-30% of the class did it. And then they told me most of them have deficiency. Most of us have deficiency. And it has a direct relationship to, our energy levels, the way we think, depression, etc., is directly connected to nutritional deficiencies.
Very true. Very true. Yes, sir. Yes. Any questions, participants? Can you post your questions? So, can you suggest few selective stress busters to maintain the mental health? Can you please suggest few selective stress busters to maintain the mental health? Sir, am I audible? Sir? So can you hear me?
1 second. Madam,
Yes, ma'am.
suddenly your voice is dropping.
Sir, can you please suggest few selective stress busters to maintain the mental health? Chat box questions, sir.
Okay. So some stress buster, obviously, have a hobby. I'm not saying anything new. Have a hobby and spend some time. Because as teachers, we think we have to behave in a particular fashion. We are not supposed to do certain things as teachers, and we get into that stereotype type of image that we have, for teachers in society. I'm not saying break it, but then we also should enjoy life. As I told you, the case of some Western teachers and Southeast Asian teachers, they go on a long vacation, they forget everything and they spend time on vacation, and they are not connected with emails and other things as we do. And they're cut off. They're cut off means they're completely cut off. And fortunately, for them, the office is also supporting them, and they have such work environment. So we also have to develop hobbies, and we have to spend time with quality time. And one thing which I practice, madam, because we all are addicted to mobile phones, we have to make a conscious effort in keeping it at a distance. And once we are in sunlight, automatically our mood improves and our physical health improves.
Very true, sir. Yes, sir. And you can see in the chat box session, they say amazing session, sir. And they are very, very happy with your session, sir. Any other questions, my dear participants? Dear participants, can you pose questions? Do you have questions? Resource person is waiting for us. Yeah. I think no questions, and all are really, are thinking, I think, deeply thinking about their mental health, I think so. Because every one of us is now connected with the points which you have been, showing in your presentation. Somehow we are connected with at least minimum few points, and so little alarming also, sir. Hope we will also take care, and we will also take care of our students, family, everywhere. I think it's going to have triggered our thought process, sir.
I'm happy to know, madam. I'm happy that you all liked it and it was useful.
Really, sir.
Very happy.
Very, very happy, sir. And it was really, I didn't know how the time passed also, sir. I think my participant would have felt the same thing. And thank you very much, sir. Over to Joshua, sir. And participants, link has been shared. Feedback link has been shared in the chat box. You can fill the feedback link. By the time, Joshua, sir, are you in the line? Can you please propose
Yes, ma'am.
your
Yes, ma'am.
time?
I'm in the line, ma'am.
Yeah, yes, sir.
So, good evening, sir. It is my
sir.
privilege and honor to extend my word of thanks on this special occasion on behalf of the institution and organizing committee. I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to all those who made today's program mental health and ethical responsibility of educators, a meaningful and enriching experience. The first and foremost, I sincerely thank our distinguished speaker, Dr. M. Karthik. He is shedding light on such an important subject. Your insight are very reminded and that our educators not only shape the knowledge but also nurture emotional well-being, and the ethical responsibility goes hand in hand with professional excellence. I also extend my gratitude to our respected principal sir, management, and organizers who provided us with this platform to discuss the vital issue and touches the lives of the professors. A special thanks to all the participants and the audience of your attentive listening, thoughtful reflection, and engagement. Your presence has made the session more valuable. Finally, I thank everyone who worked behind the scenes to ensure smooth conduct of today's event. Thank you, one and all. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
you,
you,
sir.
Joshua, sir, for your wonderful words. Excellent. And everything was very true, absolutely true. Thank you, Associate Professor Dr. Karthik, sir. Thank you having you with us. And you really made a meaningful day for us, sir. And it is like, of course, your topic is a debatable, never-ending, and thought-provoking topic where we have to every day keep in our mind. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. So kind of you.
Thank you, madam.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Bhuvaneshwari madam. Thank you, Joshua sir. Thank you, Manupriya madam.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you,
Principal
principal
is-
sir.
Thank you so
Principal.
much, sir. Thank you for this wonderful presentation.
Thank you,
once
sir.
again.
Thank you.
We'll keep in touch
Pleasure.
in future also. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
sir. Thank you. Definitely, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Good night, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam.
Yeah. Hello, my dear participants. I think you would have really taken away by the session you were, and you just went across, now with Dr. Karthik. With related to mental health, I think it was a very thought-provoking session, and really we enjoyed it. And not only enjoyed, we really had instilled a certain points which we are failing to do in our daily life. And I think we need to, refurbish ourselves, and I think we need to, see where we stand and go in for a future predictions of our mental health, not only for us, for family, our students also. I think we can even conduct a medical camp for our students. I think very nice. Thank you so much, Dr. Karthik. And now we move on to the next session. And may I now call our resource person is already in the waiting room. I call upon Professor Arokiraj sir, Head Department of Mathematics of TGS College of Arts and Science, to invite the resource person for the session.
Thank you, ma'am. Good evening, everyone. It's my proud privilege to introduce our esteemed chief guest, Dr. L. Surulivel, Assistant Professor in the Department of Fisheries Extension, Economics and Statistics at Dr. MGR Fisheries College and Research Institute, TNJFU, Ponneri. Dr. Surulivel is a distinguished academician and researcher with over 7 years of teaching experience, specializing in statistics, fisheries economics, marketing, business management, and data analysis. His doctoral research on food security among socially excluded communities in rural Tamil Nadu earned him a prestigious ICSSR doctoral fellowship. He has contributed extensively through research projects, scholarly publications, books, and popular articles focusing on food security, fisheries, and rural development. His co-authored book, Food Security in India, and numerous research papers stand as a testament to his commitment to addressing social and economic challenges in India. Beyond academia, Dr. Surulivel has served as resource person, project coordinator, NSS officer, and has shared his expertise through All India Radio talks and television programs, making knowledge accessible to society at large. We are truly honored to have such a dedicated scholar and social thinker among us today. On behalf of our institution, PJS College of Arts and Science, I extend a warm welcome to you, sir, and we eagerly look forward to your inspiring address. Welcome you, sir.
Thank you,
Over
sir,
to
for your
Audible,
Principal
sir?
sir.
my sincere. Sir,
Yeah, formally, sir, before starting, I want to say something about you, sir.
please, sir.
So, Dr. Surli, sir, I'm so happy you joined here. On behalf of our
Thank you.
management and all the staff members and participants, I welcome you for this wonderful session, sir. So really, we are all grateful to you. So we are having such a wonderful personality as a resource person. So thank you very much, sir. Over
Thank you,
to
sir.
resource person. Thank you, sir.
I am also very happy to see you all in the through this webinar. Actually, my sincere thanks to organizing committee, particularly Lakshmi Badi sir, principal, and Bhuvaneshwari madam, and co-coordinator Bhanupriya madam, and all team members. After COVID-19, now we are conducting this type of online programs. Actually, we are utilizing this type of technology means we are in the correct way. It gives me immense pleasure to talk about anti-discrimination policies and implementation in this faculty development program. You may ask this, is it visible, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Visible, sir.
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir. Visible.
But your slide, you can, extend your slide, sir. It's not in full screen.
Extend this.
Slide is visible.
Now, madam?
Yeah, you may continue, sir, if possible, or if possible, you can, sir, slideshow. Just click slideshow, sir. Click the slideshow on top, sir. On top, you just click on the top. File, home, insert, draw, design, transition on the top icon. Click the slideshow. Mail. Enable editing to mail on the side. Slideshow. On top, sir, file, home, insert, draw, design, mail, transition, animations.
Top,
Left side, to your left side, top. Mail. To your left side, on left side. Slideshow potrika, mail. Mail, no, right side, mail, up, on the top, scale.
Yeah, madam.
Slideshow, mail, slideshow potrika. File, home, insert, file, home, insert. Can you see that, sir? On top. Unna mail, sir. If not, okay, sir. We can see the slide also.
Now, madam.
F5 kuda. Illana F5 key press pannunga. F5 key. F5. Key F5 in your keyboard. Keyboard la F5 nu irukku parunga mail keyboard.
Ama, madam.
F5 press pannunga. Illana, it's okay, sir. We can see your screen. You can proceed, sir. No problem. No problem. You can proceed, sir. F5 ன்னு இருக்கு பாருங்க மேல escape F1 F2 F3 F4 F5 கீபோர்ட்ல F5 இருந்தா
mute madam, that is a mute
இல்ல
F5 வந்து mute ஆ இருக்கு. F4
சரி அப்படி இல்லனா உங்க ஸ்கிரீன் மேலயே இருக்கு பாருங்க ஸ்லைட் ஷோன்னு தெரியுது பாருங்க ஒரு வேர்ட் மேல உங்க ஸ்கிரீன் மேலயே ஸ்லைட் ஷோ ஹெல்ப் வியூவர் ரிவ்யூ எல்லாம் மேல இருக்குல பாத்தீங்களா ஐகான் ஃபைல் இருக்குல ஹோம் இன்சர்ட் டிரா டிசைன் டிரான்சிஷன் அனிமேஷன் ஸ்லைட் ஷோன்னு இருக்கு பாருங்க அங்க கிளிக் பண்ணுங்க இல்லனா F5 கிளிக் பண்ணுங்க
சார் இல்லனா ரைட் டவுன் கார்னர் இருக்குல்ல ரைட் பாட்டம் கார்னர் அங்க வந்துட்டு 65% ஜூம் காட்டுது பாத்தீங்களா அதுக்கு பக்கத்துல சின்னதா ஒரு ஸ்டாண்ட் மாதிரி இருக்கு பாருங்க கீழ டவுன்ல சார் டவுன் ரைட்
கீழ இல்ல
கார்னர் சார் டவுன் ரைட்
Sir, no problem, Surli. Dr. Surlivel, sir, you can continue. We can see your slides. Please continue. No problem. F5 key பாருங்க. அப்படி இல்லைன்னா ஸ்லைட் ஷோ போங்க. அப்படின்னா உங்களோட பாட்டம் ஸ்கிரீன் இருக்கு பாருங்க. அங்க வந்து அந்த பர்சன்டேஜ் காமிக்கிறதுல அதை கொஞ்சம் பெருசு பண்ணு. 100 கொண்டு வாங்க. If not possible, you can continue, sir. No issues at all, sir. Can you உங்க ஸ்கிரீனை காமிக்கிறீங்களா? உங்களுக்கு ஹெல்ப் பண்றோம். பிரசன்ட் பண்ணுங்க. திருப்பி ஸ்கிரீன் பிரசன்ட் பண்ணுங்க. Sir, present your screen. We will help you. முதல்ல பண்ண மாதிரி பிரசன்ட் பண்ணுங்க. Muthu, Mr. Muthu.
மேம் சொல்லுங்க மேம்.
Kindly call sir in the phone and sir,
Okay,
it is perfect, sir. Social justice காமிக்குதுல பரவாயில்ல, it's okay. You proceed, sir. We can manage.
Madam,
But it's in Tamil, sir. It is in Tamil.
Madam?
Sir, தமிழ்ல இருக்கு சார். Constitution of India ன்னு இப்ப வந்திருக்கு. உங்க டாபிக் இப்ப போயிடுச்சு.
Is it visible?
It is visible, sir. முதல்லயே விசிபிளா தான் இருந்துச்சு. Full screen தெரியல, அவ்வளவுதான். Yes, sir. Can you hear me, sir? Sir, கேக்குதா? முத்து, உங்க போன்ல connected with sir's phone?
ஓகே மேம், நான் அதோ சாருக்கு கால் பண்றேன்.
Please connect with the phone of the resource person.
ஓகே
No
மேம்.
issues, sir.
Madam, now is it visible?
It is visible, sir. It is visible.
கால் பண்றேன் சார். சொல்லிவேன் சார்.
உங்களுக்கு எங்க system admin is calling us. Pick your call, sir.
Yeah, what's
Kindly pick your call.
Am I audible, visible?
You're audible, you're visible. Yes, sir. The screen is visible. Kindly pick the phone. Our system admin is calling.
Hello? ஆமா. %56
கீழே இருக்கு பாருங்க. ஸ்கிரீன் கீழே ஒரு டேப் தெரியுது பாருங்க. ஒரு கோடு தெரியுதுல. You can see a line. You can see the percentage. உங்களுடைய சிஸ்டம்ல ரைட் சைடுல கீழே you can see a thin line and you can see a tab. அத அப்படியே ஸ்க்ரால் பண்ணுங்க. Muthu, if not, I think sir can proceed. Mr. Muthu?
மேம், இதோ சார்ட்ட பேசிட்டு இருக்கேன் மேம்.
I request the participants to kindly bear the inconvenience. I think there is some technical issue.
பேசிட்டேன், ஒரே நிமிஷம் வந்துடுவார் மேம் சார்.
No issues. I request the participants to kindly bear the inconvenience. There is a small technical problem. I hope you can understand. Kindly relax for a few minutes. You have listened for one session, no? Mental health. So I think you can relax, drink some water, then just walk and come back and sit in your system, please. Till by then, we'll get ready with the next session. Thank you so much. Don't disconnect, but just move and relax and come back to your seat, please. Do not disconnect. Don't exit, please. I think the topic is very good, no? Isn't it? See, anti-discrimination policies and implementation. I think we are really nice topics have been chosen for the FTP. Isn't it, participants? So as I told you that tomorrow we start the session, day 6, we are starting it. The session starts at 2 p.m. tomorrow, my dear participants. Tomorrow's session starts at 2 p.m. and 2 to 3:30 we have one session. And then from 3:30 to 5 we have another session. Then again 5 to 6:30 we have one more session. So 3 session resource persons we are going to meet tomorrow and hear from them. Then at 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. we are going to have an online test, and it is a must mandatory which all the participants must undergo in order to secure or procure your certificates. So you will be assessed to that question. And for that, I remember telling you yesterday, I will share the PowerPoints of the resource person, whoever has taken for us so far, and even tomorrow's resource person sessions will be shared to you. Kindly be in touch with connected with your WhatsApp group, which we have formed for the participants exclusively. My dear participants, kindly connect yourself with the WhatsApp group from today and tomorrow fully, so that you will get the inputs through WhatsApp group. And tomorrow we are going to have a test at 6:30 to 7:30. That at 7:30 to 8 p.m. positively we will end our 6 days FTP, online Atal FTP. Yes, sir.
மேம் அது சாருக்கு சாஃப்ட்வேர்ல ஏதோ இஷ்யூ இருக்கு போல மேம். அது மேக்ஸிமமே
That's
அவ்வளவுதான் மேம் வரும்.
No issue, no
Dear
issue.
participants,
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Audible?
Please proceed, sir. Yes, sir, proceed, sir.
dear participants,
Yes, sir, proceed, sir.
am I audible?
Yes, sir, proceed, sir. Yes, sir. Dr. Surliben, sir, you can proceed. You're audible. Please carry on.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sorry for
Yes,
sorry
yes,
for
you're audible.
yes, sorry for inconvenience.
No problem.
So it gives me immense pleasure to talk about anti-discrimination policies and the implementation in this faculty development program. You may ask or you may think about this topic and my department, how it will be relevant like that. Actually, I did my doctoral degree on food security among socially excluded communities in rural Tamil Nadu. In my doctoral degree, I learned many things, particularly what are the discriminations, particularly when people accessing their public distribution schemes or food security schemes, people are excluded in many ways. From that experience, I interested to given this topic, and also it gives me immense pleasure to talk about this. Before this one is a big topic, and also we may talk about many things. Particularly when we in this presentation, I would like to tell something about why these matters are important. What is discrimination? Forms of discrimination. Particularly how this type of things coming under constitution, particularly how it will be helpful to students and all age groups, and everyday campus examples, laws for students, particularly students, college and university students. If you face discrimination, what are the alternative ways for finding the solutions, whom to approach in college, how to file a complaint, your protection, etc. Before that, you may know very well about that one of the poet, திருக்குறள், பிறப்புக்கும் எல்லா உயிருக்கும் சிறப்புவா செய்துளில் வேற்றுமையான். It means by birth all men are equal. Differences in their action render their worth unequal. ஏழை என்றும் அடிமை என்றும் எவனும் இல்லை, சாதியில் இழிவு கொண்ட மனிதர் என்போர் இந்தியாவில் இல்லையே. It means there is no one poor or enslaved. There are no people insulted by caste. Such a thing does not exist in India. Says Bharatiyar, you know, one of the renowned poet in India. There are many poems, many stories, many things says about what is the importance of social justice in India. Why we are talking about that? As of now, we are talking about India's developing country. We are in the developing stage as per the human development index wise, income per capita income wise, life expectancy wise, and other that
So slide move பண்ணுங்க. அடுத்த slide. Next slide. Slide 2 வாங்க. Second slide.
Is it visible? Is it visible, madam? This slide?
First slide. All slides are visible, but please move the slide. You are in the title sheet. Move the second slide. Arrow key press.
Move agada, madam?
No, sir. You just press the arrow key, sir. Yes, sir. You're gone to the fourth slide, sir. Second slide. Second slide. You're now in the third slide. Yes, sir. Second slide is there. Yes, now you can continue, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. In my presentation, I would like to talk about this. Given this contents, just now I have told about the importance of social justice. Before law, that Tirukural says about பிறப்புக்கும் எல்லா உயிருக்கும் சிறப்புவா செய்துளில் வேற்றுமையான். It means by birth all men are equal. Differences in their action render their worth unequal. Same thing says by Bharatiyar, ஏழை என்றும் அடிமை என்றும் எவனும் இல்லை, ஜாதியில் இழிவு கொன்ற மனிதர் என்போர் இந்தியாவில் இல்லையே. There is no one poor or elsewhere enslaved. There are no people insulted by caste. Such a thing does not exist in India, says Bharatiyar. Like many poets, many stories, many articles says about the importance of social justice. All humans are equal, but in this modern world, that discrimination, some kind of social exclusion, that kind of things are existing as of now. Our Constitution of India says we the people of it should be very important whether any religion believed, you may have any your beliefness, but everyone should have that preamble of Constitution of India. It says we the people of India having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign socialist secular democratic republic and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic and political liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unit and integrity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact and give to the ourselves this Constitution. It means we are studying a lot of things, but in Tamil we are saying that இந்திய அரசியலமைப்பு முகப்புரை, இந்திய மக்களாகிய நாம் இந்திய நாட்டினை இறையாண்மையும் சமநல சமுதாயமும் சமய சார்பின்மையும் மக்களாட்சி முறையும் அமைந்ததொரு குடியரசாக நிறுவவும், அதன் குடிமக்கள் அனைவரும் சமுதாய, பொருளியல், அரசியல் நீதி, எண்ணம், அதன் வெளியீடு, கோட்பாடு, சமய நம்பிக்கை, வழிபாடு ஆகியவற்றின் தன்னுரிமை, சமுதாய படிநிலை, வாய்ப்பு நலன், இவற்றின் சமன்மை ஆகியவற்றை எய்திட செய்யவும், அவர்கள் அனைவருடையும் தனி மனிதனின் மாண்பு, நாட்டு மக்களின் ஒற்றுமை, ஒருமைப்பாடு இவற்றை உறுதிப்படுத்தும் உடன்பிறப்பினை வளர்க்கவும் உள்ளார்ந்த உறுதியுடையவராய் நம்முடைய அரசியலமைப்பு பேரவையில் 1949 நவம்பர் 26ஆம் நாளாகிய இன்று இதனால் இந்த அரசியலமைப்பினை இயற்றி நமக்கு நாமே வழங்கிக் கொள்கிறோம். After the independence, after the republic, there are many articles, many things talk about social justice, how to avoid the we can create a good environment in this society. That's why this matter is important. Every student deserves dignity and equal opportunity. Discrimination affects learning and mental health. Safe and inclusive campus, better education. In this faculty development program free building an ethical campus culture from classroom to governance, that is more important. That's why first thing we need to cultivate good things for students. Then only we can create a good environment, good society, good nation. The constitution promise of equality means justice, social, economic, political, improves access, well-being and productivity in institutions and workplaces, reduces risk of rights violations, litigation and reputational harm, creates inclusive campuses and fisheries sector, values chains, fishers, processors, markets, etc. So you may have this doubt, you may have some ideas on discrimination, but what is the exact mean for discrimination? Somebody are saying exclusion, somebody are saying discrimination, somebody are saying biasness. Means we may understand that clearly. Unfair treatment based on identity or background can be direct or indirect rules that disadvantage some, often linked to caste, gender, religion, disability, language, etc. That discrimination may be in various forms. It may be caste-based, it may be gender-based, or it may be income-based, or it may be height-based, or it may be weight-based, or it may be color-based, or it may be the area-based, or we may say like the discriminations are in various forms. Even bullying due to language or religion also one of the discrimination. Like we can take many things. Like if you are going to some places for work, means in that area people may showing some biasness, means that is also one kind of discrimination. When you are if you are going to hotel, if you are going to join any job, or that kind of, we may see many forms of discrimination in working places or education institutes or anywhere. So your rights under the constitution means Article 14 says equality before law. Article 15 says prohibition of discrimination. Article 21 says a right to life with dignity. It is also more important. The Article 14 of the Constitution of India is one of the most important fundamental rights, forming the basis of equality in our legal system. When we talk about equality before law, every individual, regardless of religion, race, caste, sex, or place of birth is treated equally before the law. No person is above the law, including government officials and leaders. Equal protection of law says everyone is entitled to the same protection of laws within India. However, reasonable classification, not arbitrary discrimination, is allowed. Example, special laws for women, children, or weaker sections are valid as they aim for equality in practice. Doctrine of reasonable classification, the law can treat people differently if there is a reasonable basis. Example, reservation for SC/ST, laws for minorities. But such classifications should not be arbitrary or unfair. When we talk about judicial interpretations, the Supreme Court has upheld Article 14 as the foundation of right to equality. It checks arbitrariness in state actions. Many people are thinking, why this reservation? Many people are saying, why the gender equality? Why reservation for third gender? Why reservation for OBC and other minorities? But we should understand one thing here. Article 14 and other article says about the importance of equality, particularly that reservation is for is only for representative in all places or any education institutes. But what we are thinking, if you are giving reservation, means the quality of education or other things will be degrees, like we have that kind of mentality. But reservation gives some representative in some places, or it creates some good environment. For example, if a particular group of people excluded from the mainstream means, they will mentally suffers a lot. If they suffers a lot, means automatically their creativity and their productivity may be reduced. Sometimes may be positive, sometimes it may be reduced a lot. So good environment, if you are giving equal rights, or if you are giving good respect, means the equality gives good environment. That good environment creates a good mindset. That good mindset creates good working environment, and automatically your income will be rise, your productivity will be increase, and your saving will be high. Your quality of you can able to spend more money for that education purpose and other purpose. Automatically the cycle will be create a good environment, good condition. If you are excluding or if you are discriminating, means automatically we can have that kind of inferiority complex. That inferiority complex will be create some what we can say, that exclusion, and productivity will be degrees. Your income will be degrees. Your saving will be degrees. Your that standard of living will be degrees. Like that basis cycle will be like that. So we have to create good environments. We have to give equal rights. We have to ensure this type of things from the laws and everything. Article 15, prohibition of discrimination. This article strengthens the ideas of equality under the Constitution by specifically prohibiting discrimination. No discrimination by state. The state shall not discriminate against any citizen on grounds of religion, race, caste, sex, place of birth. And access to public spaces means no discrimination shall be denied access to shops, restaurants, hotels, places of public entertainment, also applies to wells, tanks, parking gates, roads, places of public resort, maintained wholly or partly out of state funds. Special professions permitted. The Constitution allows the state to make a special provision for women and children, socially and educationally backward classes, scheduled castes and scheduled tribes, economically weaker sections through later amendments. And this is why reservationist education, jobs, welfare schemes are not considered discrimination, and they are positive discrimination, affirmative action meant to promote equality. Article 21 says about right to life and personal liberty. It means it says no person shall be deprived of his life or personal liberty except according to procedure established by law. It says elaborately about right to life, right to personal liberty, expanded judicial interpretation. When we talk about the right to life, life means more than mere animal existence. It includes the right to life with dignity. It covers all aspects that make life meaningful, complete, and worth living. Right to personal liberty, talk about a lot. Particularly, no person can be detained, arrested, or punished arbitrarily. The procedure for depriving someone of liberty must be fair, just, and reasonable. When we talk about the expanded judicial interpretation, the Supreme Court has interpreted Article 21 broadly to include right to privacy, right to livelihood. You may see the case, Justice K.S. Puttaswamy case in the year of 2017. Right to livelihood, and the third, right to education, later made a separate Article 21A. Right to clean environment, health, shelter. Article 5, right to legal aid and fair trial. Article right to die with dignity, passive euthanasia allowed under strict conditions. So these are all the things we may understand in the Article 21, right to life and personal liberty. Okay, every campus examples. Unfair grading or favoritism, denied hostel due to background, like no ramps or digital access for students with disabilities, bullying and harassment, or if students are discriminating based on their religion, based on their caste, based on their region, based on their gender, based on their family background, based on their color, means these are all the things coming under discrimination. So we should try to understand what are the ways that discriminations are existing. Okay, now key laws for students. So this one is very important nowadays. You may see some news in a newspaper or any social medias. Even educated people also doing many things, many mistakes. They are involving in illegal activities, particularly educated youth are involving some illegal activities and some biasness things. When we talk about POST Act, it was POST Act 2013 ensure the protects against it gives importance for women's protects against sexual harassment. RPWD Act 2016 rights of students with disabilities. Then SC/ST Prevention of Atrocities Act 1989 ensures the protection from caste discrimination. When we talk about the POST Act 2013, the Act POST Act 2013 refers to the sexual harassment of women at workplace, Prevention, Prohibition and Redressal Act 2013 enacted in India to provide a safe working environment for women, to prevent address complaints of sexual harassment at the workplace. Today also we have conducted a meeting regarding we have Visaha committee in our campus. Also we have discussed something about that among members. In that committee, staffs also in that also some students are also a member in that committee. Also one of the lawyers also in that committee. So we have discussed about what is there any complaint in our college. We have discussed something about that. In that many students ask some questions to discuss with the lawyer and in our campus. Okay, let us discuss about that. What is it? What are the things in article the POST Act 2013? First of all, when we are when you are facing that discrimination, particularly that kind of things means existing means we need to follow some steps. We need to understand something about that definition of sexual harassment. It includes unwelcome acts like physical contacts, advances, requests for sexual favors, sexually colored remarks, showing pornography, or any other unwelcome conduct of sexual nature. Applicability means covers all workplaces, government, private sector, NGOs, offices, hospitals, schools, colleges, etc. Applies to all women, regular, temporary, contractual, interns, etc. You may ask this question. Sometimes if there is co-education means we may see this kind of gender inequality or something. We may see that kind of things. At the same time, some boys college or some women's college or men's college means that's we may have that kind of committee, because in women's college also women's may face some sexual harassment from outside the campus or within the campus from anybody. So that committee is more important. That's why every education institute is having that committee. As per the UGC regulations, all education institutes should have that internal complaint committee. What is it that internal complaint committee? Mandatory for organizations with 10 or more employees, headed by senior women employee, includes external members for impartiality. Local complaints committee also we have to understand, established at the district level for organizations with less than 10 employees, or if the complaint is against the employer. Then complaint procedure means we have to, complaint must be filed within 3 months of the incident, extendable to 6 months in certain cases. Inquiry to be completed within 90 days with the recommendations to the employer. Then employer's responsibility means provide a safe working environment, display the panel consequences of sexual harassment, organize awareness workshops and training, assist in filing complaints if needed. Then penalties for non-complaints means fine up to 50,000. Repeated violence can lead to higher penalties, cancellation of business licenses, etc. That we may have this confusion. What is POSO Act 2013? What is POXO Act 2012? Like sometimes it may give some confusion. So we need some. We need the difference. What is it says POSO Act and what is POXO Act says. The POSO Act is for only the sexual harassment of women at workplace, particularly the sexual harassment of women at workplace Act 2013 protects women from sexual harassment in the workplace. It may be staffs, staffs, male staffs, female staffs, particularly female staffs. Even female staff, students also, they may complain in that. What is POXO Act? Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act 2012 protects all children under 18 from sexual abuse and exploitation regardless of gender. So this one is for POXO is for age group below 18. That POSO Act is for above with all age groups, particularly for sexual harassment of women. Okay. When we talk about that complaint filed under RPWD Act, means this refers to the right of person with disabilities. We are saying as RPWD Act 2016 in India, which provides for the rights and entitlements of persons with disabilities and lays down mechanisms for addressing grievances. In Tamil Nadu only, we are having a very good that appropriate name for that disabilities, particularly physically challenged, or in Tamil we are saying as Matru Tirunaligal. Matru Tirunaligal for that is a very good appropriate name for physically challenged persons. At the same as like that for the third gender, the Tamil Nadu government has given a very good name for Matru Moondram Palinathavaru. That is also a role model for other states. Okay, who can file a complaint? A person with a disability, their parent, guardian, or legal representative, any registered organization working for a person with disabilities. Where to file the complaint? Every states we have that commission, Chief Commissioner for Persons with Disabilities. It is in a national level. State level, State Commissioner for Persons with Disabilities. This was state level. Then a local level committee is also there. Deals with the cases related to guardianship of persons with disabilities under the National Trust Act. The Court of Law also dealing that cases of discrimination or denial of rights under RPWD. It means a person with disabilities act can also be taken to High Court or other competent courts. So what are the grounds for these complaints? You can file a complaint if there is discrimination, denial of equal opportunity in education, employment, healthcare, transport, etc. If lack of accessibility, if you have particularly infrastructure, information, communication, technology, violation of reservation rules in jobs or education, then denial of reasonable accommodation, changes to help person with disabilities perform task, abuse, exploitation, or harassment. Like we may give many examples. Steps to file a complaint means write a complaint clearly mentioning name, address, contact details, then nature of disability, details of the incident, violation, relief, remedy, or sort. Attach documents means we need to attach something like a disability certificate, identity proof, evidence of discrimination, etc. Submit the complaint online, a state commissioner website or central commission by post, like we may complain through this mode. When we talk about SC/ST Prevention of Atrocity Act 1989, protection from caste discrimination, the Scheduled Castes and the Scheduled Tribes Prevention of Atrocities Act 1989, often called the SC and SC/ST Act, is a law in India meant to protect members of scheduled castes and scheduled tribes from caste-based discrimination, atrocities, and violence. When we talk about the SC/ST Prevention of Atrocities Act, the Government of India, Government of Tamil Nadu, taking necessary steps for eradicating this type of things. You know that Justice Sandru Committee also ensure the social justice, particularly that equality for equality in education institutes. Also, in every colleges, every universities, we have that SC/ST cell. It ensures the legal, particularly equality for students as well as staffs. Also, you may think that you may ask that why this type of even not only for ACST, for all social groups, OBC, like some minorities also in all education institutes, some separate cells existing. So that kind of committees, that kind of separate section dealing the dealing the rights for that targeted groups. How we can protect the protection from atrocities? Talk about prevents caste-based discrimination, humiliation and violation against SC/ST and individuals. Includes protection in workplaces, schools, public spaces, and communities. Even we can see that kind of atrocities in education institutes and common places. We may see that things. And punishable offenses under the Act means caste-based verbal abuse, humiliation, or social boycott, denial of access to public places, temples, wells, shops, schools, hospitals, etc. Physical violence, sexual assault based on caste, land grabbing, or forced eviction of SC/ST, prevent individuals from their property, economic or social exploitation. If any employees denied for promotion, or if they are facing some discrimination, means we may file a petition under this Act. Some special courts also playing major role for ensuring the social justice for all social groups, particularly this category, SC/ST and other social groups. Exclusive courts are set up to ensure a speedy trial of offences under this Act. That's why, Justice Chandru committee also ensure the social justice. Like we may take many examples. Relief and rehabilitation. Victims are entitled to compensation, protection, and rehabilitation support. And filing a complaint under the Act means we may understand that a complaint can be filed at the nearest police station, preferably at SC/ST police cell, or if available. But there is no special, but we may file a case under this Act. Police are bound to register an FIR under this Act. If police refuse, or the complaint can be taken into, if they refuse, means we may take further Superintendent of Police, special court under SC/ST Act, state central SC/ST commission. We may go further. Article 14, equality before law and equal protection of law. Article 15 says about no discrimination on religion, race, caste, sex, place of birth, permits special professions. Article 15(1) bars discrimination by the state on protected grounds. Article 15(2) bars denial of access to shops, public eaters, wells, tanks, roads, etc. Like these are all the acts ensuring the legal rights for public, for all social groups. Article 15 3 and 15 sub 4 category 4, special professions for women, children, socially and educationally backward classes. Article 15.6, economically weaker sections, reservation introduced 103rd constitutional amendment in the year of 2019. Article 16, equality of opportunity in public employment, a reservation for backward classes. Article 17, abolition of untouchability. Article 18, abolition of titles, particularly Transgender Person Act 2019, rules 2020. Like there are many acts existing in our constitution, and we may file a petition if anybody facing that kind of discrimination, or means we can approach the court and other committees. Also, you may we know very well about that Government of India, particularly University Grant Commission, frameworks for SC/ST, OBC cells, equal opportunities cells, anti-ragging regulations in 2009, and also recent that Supreme Court permits UGC to notify draft regulations 2025 on ragging, harassment, and caste, gender, disability bias. UGC issuing notices and threatening fund cuts for non-compliance. So, from government side, from all government side, giving some importance for ensure the social justice for all. So we may understand that in education institutes or in any villages, in urban areas, if you are having that kind of discussion, firstly we should be we have to courageously, we have to complain in police station. If they are not taking any steps, means we can go for some further what we have discussed now, like we have to go, we have to complain about in that cells or under the acts. In our college also we have that committee, like prevention of sexual harassment of women employees and students, internal complaints committee. In this committee we have one chairman, we have one member from staff side, teaching staffs are there, non-teaching staff in this committee. Also we have student members in this committee. Like every month or 2 months once, that we are gathering and we are discussing about the type of issues. Like in some colleges, some universities having anti-discrimination committee. In some universities have visa committee, like sexual harassment, like this type of committee. Like in the first, if anybody joining first year, in the beginning, anti-ragging committee is there, because senior students are practice that kind of things, means students may complain in that committee. They will take care of that things seriously, and so there are many things in this. the thing is, we are talking about a lot. We are studying a lot. We are discussing a lot. We are in the current world, modern world. But this type of discrimination is issues based on the gender, based on the color, based on the caste, based on the religions are existing. But we can't. That's why every year government also taking serious steps for this type of eradicating this type of things. The thing is, what is the social responsibility for eradicating this type of discrimination or controlling that kind of things? Means we should be very strong in that. How? First of all, we have to change ourselves. Change ourselves means we should take oath first. Firstly, in your family, in your society, in your education institutes. Firstly, you have to change yourself first. We have to take oath like I should give importance for all. So the equal all rights for all. Like we have to take that things first ourselves. That's why Tirukural says karka kasadara katravi nirka adarku taga, katrabin nirka adarku taga. It means we have to learn anything thoroughly. Learn thoroughly what should be learned, and having learned, stand according to that. Simply for the namesake, if you are studying, for the namesake, you are degree means it will not change the society. You have to be role model for to others. Then only your family members will be. We may see the changes in your family. You may see the changes in your society. You may see the changes in your state. You may see the changes in this country. It's like we need to change ourselves first. So our education should be not only for earning income. It should be broad-based education. That broad-based education should be create a good society. That is the message we have to understand from my lecture. I think better if you are asking some questions, means I can share. I can explain something about that based from my experience. The thing is, I am not lawyer, but I am academicians, particularly from social science background, fisheries, economics, statistics, and extension. So you may ask some questions, and we may, based on that, we can have discussion for this question hour.
Sir, have you completed your presentation? Dr. Surlive, sir, thank you so much for your presentation. I think let us, wait for the participants to post their questions. You can type it in the chat box, my dear participants, and kindly pose a question from your perspective. Whatever you have listened to the very sensitive topic on anti-discrimination policies and implementation. Both the topics of resource person handled today was very, very sensitive, very close to our heart and practice. So definitely you must be having some questions. Can you ask, sir? Yes, sir. Yes, participants, can you ask some questions? Yes. I don't know, as Sir said, I don't know how, I think most of us are in comfort zone. We are being brought up in such a way, and we are being groomed in such a way, and exposure we have got in schools and colleges and workplace, everything. I think some of us are so blessed that we have not faced any such problems. But there are many people in the society, the students, the children, the elders, adults of any age in their workplace, study place, wherever, different countries they travel, or even inside the country, migrating to any places, we do have this problem, this particular issue we do have. And that, takes us to, unless we don't overcome the anti-discrimination issues, that is the discrimination problems, it takes us to the first session of Dr. Karthik said, it will draw us to the mental health problems. So we need to, parallelly balance the two issues which has been spoken by our eminent resource persons of today, related to discrimination and anti-discrimination policies, and how to, really come build up our mental and physical health. It's a wonderful topic which has been, said by today's two eminent personalities of Atal Online FTP. Thank you very much to Dr. Karthik, and thank you very much to Dr. Surlivel sir. Over to Professor Arokiraj sir for your thanking note.
Thank you, ma'am.
For organizing committee for giving this very good opportunity. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Surlivel sir. Thank you, Dr. Surlivel sir. Kindly be in line, please.
Good evening, everyone. Once again, it's my privilege and pleasure to propose the vote of thanks on this memorable occasion. First and foremost, I extend our deepest sense of gratitude to our chief guest, Dr. L. Surlivel, for sparing his valuable time to be with us today. Sir, your inspiring words, which starts with Pirapakkum Ella Uirkum, with wonderful Tirukural and Bharatiyar words, wonderful quotes and motivating thoughts, have truly enriched this gathering and left us with much to reflect upon, sir. From this session, we can recollect more things about discrimination policies, its implementation, particularly Article 14, Fundamental Rights, Article 15, Article 21, Article POSCO Act, key laws for students, and also the mechanisms to proceed if anything happens, where to file and how to file, sir. Surely it will help us to guide how to protect the students and how to make the safe working environment for the women, sir. We are grateful for your gracious presence and guidance, sir. I also take this opportunity to sincerely thank our respected principal, head of the institution, management, and organizers for their constant support, encouragement, and leadership in making this event possible. Once again, I express my heartfelt gratitude to everyone associated with today's program. Thank you all, and we look forward to your continued support and encouragement in future. Thank you.
Thank you, Arokiraj sir. Professor Arokiraj sir, Department of Mathematics of TGS College of Arts and Science, has given a wonderful compilation of this today's session of Dr. Surlivel sir. Thank you, sir. It was very, very good, sir. Thank you very much for your participation, Professor Arokiraj sir. Thank you, Dr. Surlivel sir. I think you really, yes, sir, you really made the day, and we are very, very honored to have you in our platform. Thank you very much, sir, and we'll get back to you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir. And my dear participants, I would like to remind you once again that tomorrow is day 6. That is our final day of our FTP program. And the session starts at 2 o'clock tomorrow, 2 p.m. Saturday, tomorrow, 2 p.m. And it ends at 8 p.m. in the night. Okay, so I would like everybody to be present. We have, I've already posted the invite card and the details of the sessions till the valedictory session till 8 p.m. From 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. I've given the complete program chart in your WhatsApp group. I would like you to go into the WhatsApp group and just find the details. And we are sending the feedback from Elilarisi ma'am, kindly mute. We are sending the feedback form. And also, as I promised, I will send the presentations to the WhatsApp group. Kindly follow. Thank you very much for everybody. Thank you to my principal, to my institute management who have been a constant support and guidance of encouragement to conduct such wonderful programs in the online platform. Thank you to the principal and thank you to the management and thank you to my organizing team who have been a backbone support for the conduction of today's program and the continuous program from day 1 to day 5 today. And we are looking forward for tomorrow's session. Thank you one and all. Good night. Thank you. Yeah, Muthu sir, can I exit?
Yes, ma'am. You can, ma'am.
Is it okay? Yeah. Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Muthu. Thank you for the system admin, Mr. Muthu. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you to the participants. Thank you all. Good night.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, good night to all. Thank you, Santosh sir, admin sir. Thank you very much. Thank you to co-coordinator Banupriya ma'am and thank you to my principal. Good night to all. See you tomorrow at 2 p.m.
Thank you, ma'am.
Santosh sir. Santosh sir.
Sir?
Sir. Sir, இது feedback form fill பண்ணி முடிச்சதுக்கு அப்புறம் சொல்லுங்க சார், மீட்டிங் எண்ட் பண்ணிடலாம்.
Okay Muthu. Okay Muthu.
Okay.
Yeah, Muthu sir, okay, va? We are, no, hello?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, yes,
One
ma'am.
minute, appearing Bluetooth or connect.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Hello?
Ma'am, yes, ma'am. Ma'am.
Yeah, Muthu sir?
Yes, ma'am. I'm in line, ma'am.
Yeah, okay, va? Number 8:40 தான் ஆச்சு. திருப்பி உள்ள வரணுமா?
No, ma'am. இன்னும் 2 minutes தான் இருக்கு.
நான் இருக்கேன், அப்படியே ஒரு room ல இருக்கேன்.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
அப்புறம் அங்க வாட்ஸ்அப்ல அங்கேயே இருக்கீங்க.
He emerged from the rubble and walked across
Ma'am?
the field strewn with bodies. The boy watched, completely stunned. He realized that the film wasn't just about action and special effects. It had never occurred to him that
Hello,
a single
sir, மண்டபத்திலே
shot
இருக்கீங்க?
could elevate an entire movie.
No, ma'am.
The soldier
Ma'am,
was in tears, as
if you don't mind, I'm Muthu Kumaran, ma'am.
Even
ஓ
after
முத்து நீயா? சரி சரி
Yes,
சரி.
ma'am.
except him, still
எங்க
lost in
உங்க அண்ணா
sorrow.
எங்க?
Soon, the film premiered its
அவர் அங்க
own
பிரதீப்
climax,
சார்
making the audience feel like they were
ஓ
right there.
சரி பானு அங்கேயா இருக்கீங்க?
The soldier walked alone across
இப்பதாங்க கிளம்புறாங்க.
every
ஐயோ நான் பாத்திருப்பேனே அவங்கள பிரதீப் மேடையில பாத்திருப்பேனையா
Mother accidentally stepped through a sheet of music, but it greatly inspired her young son. Returning
ஒரு
to his
வாட்ஸ்அப்ல
room,
பாத்திருப்பேன்
he had just finished shooting that day and used it to open punch holes in the film strip.
தேங்க்யூ
Just like
தேங்க்யூ
that, a gunfire muzzle flashed right in the floor. Leaving his classmate utterly amazed.
நன்றி அம்மா நன்றி நன்றி ஏய் என்ன அங்க காமிச்சிருக்கல வாட்ஸ்அப்ல லைவா நானும் பாத்திருக்கேன்
நீங்க அப்போ வந்து host பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கீங்க. நாங்க நம்ம நினைச்சோம் காட்டுறோம் அப்ப பார்த்து நீங்க பண்ணிட்டு இருந்தீங்க. நாங்க அப்பதான் ஸ்டேஜ் ஏறணும்.
சரி சரி ஓகே ஓகே சரி சரி நோ ப்ராப்ளம் நீங்க பாத்துட்டீங்களா
சூப்பர்
ஓகே
மேம், மிஸ் யூ மேம்.
தேங்க் யூ ஐ டு
உங்களுக்கு
மிஸ்
அனுப்புறேன். அத போட்டோ எடுத்து அனுப்புறேன் மேம் உங்களுக்கு.
ஓகே மேம் தேங்க் யூ தேங்க் யூ தேங்க் யூ தேங்க் யூ பானு தேங்க் யூ மேம்
சூப்பர் மேம். தேங்க் யூ மேம். பை மேம்.
தேங்க் யூ பைடா பைடா பை
Hello, madam. Hello.
சார் சொல்லுங்க சார்.